Well, I learned about Alliance Ministries from two very close friends of mine here in Birmingham that I respect a lot. Richard Simmons, who runs the Center for Executive Leadership, and Drake Neighbors. I had returned from Florida, where I had spent 15 years in the development business and was looking for something to do, and they both said I should go speak with the folks at Alliance. Well, I got in, my first involvement with the ministry was really the 210 Project. I met with Don Ankenbrandt, and Don was the one who told me about the book, and I actually took the book and read it, went through the online program that comes as part of that, and it was very impactful, and it helped me to focus my thoughts about kind of what I should be doing with the second half of my life. You know, if I had to say one thing about the heartbeat of the vision of Alliance Ministry, it would be two things really. It would be connections, people connecting with people in the body of Christ, but more importantly, helping somebody understand that, you know, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, they're there with the talents they have because God placed them there. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how am I doing things? Am I doing it from a worldly perspective, or am I doing things from a kingdom perspective? And I think that's what Alliance really helps people focus on. Well, first, I think what it really does is get you to think about your relationship with God. Think about everything that may have occurred in your life, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You know, everybody's had ups and downs in life, but every one of those things can be used by God. And if you really focus on that and the purpose of why maybe those things occurred in your life, you can see there's an opportunity to reach out for others. You may have gone through a difficult time, and God brought you through that to prepare you for reaching out and touching somebody else who's going through a similar difficult process. Or more importantly, how do you just react in the everyday world? How do you deal with clients? How do you deal with coworkers? How do you deal with just the ordinary people that you run into every day? Are you doing that from a personal agenda way, or are you doing that with a kingdom perspective? I think what this ministry does is equip you with the tools and help you to understand. You know, discipleship for me, and I think for a lot of people that come from that don't grow up full-time in ministry, didn't go to seminary, things like discipleship, things like evangelism, those words can be scary, I think, at times. And discipleship is just simply, how are you interacting with the people you interact with every day? You can use your actions, you can use your relationships to be a disciple for Christ, overtly or covertly. It really doesn't matter. The point is, are you leading, or are you directing people to ask you questions, or in some sense to encourage each other as we walk this walk and try our best to be God's hands and feet in this world? Well, there's a lot of ways to get involved with Alliance. First of all, prayer. I think prayer, every ministry needs to be covered with prayer constantly. It's in my opinion, it's what makes ministry work. And then the other thing is people can support financially. We don't like to talk about that a lot of times, but honestly, finances are the lifeblood of ministry. Without it, it's hard for the ministry to operate like it should. And then the great thing about Alliance and the 210 Project is that it's something that people can do together as a group. Churches can do it. You can do it within your business. It would be a great tool for a Christian business owner to really put into his business and help his employees understand how he thinks, how he sees things, and how the business could be used for God's glory. So all of those things are ways that you can get involved and support Alliance. I do what I do now because, first because Don Ankenbrandt of Alliance introduced me to this ministry, and I've told Don this and several other people that I did a study back in the 80s that Blackerby did, and the main thing that I kind of remember from that study is he talked about people wanting to do something for God. And his encouragement was, rather than trying to come up with what you think is the next best idea, why not just look around and see what God's already working? Because as much as he wants us to do things for him, he's pretty much figured out what needs to be done. And so Don actually introduced me to the Lovelady Center, where I am now. And the first thing that I saw or felt when I came in this place was I saw God at work. I saw him changing the lives of these women, taking a very broken and very hurt person and making miraculous changes in their lives. And so I just kind of took the advice from that study and kind of jumped in here and joined in with what God was doing, and it's been more of a blessing for me than I'm sure I have done for them. Well, I guess the encouragement would be, and I'm sensing that there's more and more of this out there, which is we all need to understand that we are all disciples, that we are all missionaries. We don't have to, we can be it in our home, in our businesses, just in our walks on the street, running into everyday people. And I would just encourage folks to reach out and touch base with Alliance, because they have the tools to help you get over maybe some of those fears and concerns about, can I do this, or am I equipped to do this? And they'll encourage you. The study, the 210 Project, will encourage you, it'll direct you, and I think it'll give you the tools in order to really step into everything God created you to be.
If you know of a ministry that we need to know about, please give us a call, 888-641-8606, or take a look at our website, revelationstv.org.